Look at this digital data pulse attempting to leave a local computer. It has a valid local IP address, but the moment it tries to reach the broader internet, the connection drops completely. The internet simply does not work. Faced with an offline machine, a beginner reaches straight for the power button to force a reboot. Professional technicians take a deliberate, step-by-step diagnostic approach. This diagram shows the exact network topology we will use to track down our failure. We have a standard PC connected to a local switch, which feeds into a router, and finally connects out to a remote internet server. To find exactly where the connection drops along this path, we are going to use the 5-step ping progression method. By executing a rigid testing sequence, we eliminate the need to guess. You can narrow down any network failure to an exact point of origin, turning network troubleshooting into a fully predictable science. Step 1 of this framework is to verify the problem. Even if a user reports that the internet is down, you must test the system yourself to confirm the exact symptoms. We do this by sending a ping command from our PC directly to the remote internet server. When we look at the results, we see a continuous series of request timed out messages. The internet is definitively unreachable. This UI mockup displays our local IP configuration, bringing us to step 2. Before inspecting external hardware, we check the machine's own settings. Notice this specific field, the default gateway. Think of the default gateway as the single physical exit door leading out of a building. It is the router interface that connects the local room to the outside world. If a computer does not know the exact numerical coordinates of its local exit door, it cannot route traffic outside. Any attempt to reach the internet will fail before it leaves the machine. This animated diagram illustrates step 3, ping progression. We test our connection by moving outward in concentric circles from the center of the machine. Test 1 checks the inner core. We send a ping to 127.0.0.1, which is the computer's local loopback address. Our ping succeeds. This confirms that the device's internal TCP/IP stack is fully operational. The software is capable of sending and receiving data. Next, we expand to test 2 by pinging the machine's assigned local IP address, 192.168.1.10. The replies come back successfully. This proves the physical network adapter is alive and functioning on the network. For test 3, we try to reach the edge of our local network by pinging the default gateway address we found earlier, 192.168.1.254. The request times out. This failure gives us a precise boundary. The pathway between the computer and the router is broken. By isolating the failure to this exact link, we avoid wasting time investigating the external internet. The error is isolated to this specific local room. Step 4 is to follow the packet. Now that we have text-based ping results isolating the problem, we can transition to a visual mode to trace the physical path the data takes. Look at this diagram tracing our failed ping. The digital envelope successfully leaves the PC, travels across the wire to the local switch, and then stops dead halfway to the router. The packet dies right there on the line. It never actually reaches the router's interface. Seeing this specific geographical failure location forces us to stop looking outward. Our investigation is now focused exclusively on the configuration bridging this PC and this router. To identify the root cause, we cross-reference where the PC is trying to send the data against the actual identity of the router. This split-screen comparison reveals the exact issue. On the left, the PC is attempting to send data to a gateway ending in .254. On the right, the router's actual interface ends in .1. They do not match. We correct this by opening the PC's network configuration panel and replacing the incorrect .254 with the router's true address, .1. A single incorrect number can stop all communication. Many troubleshooting problems are simply configuration problems. Never assume a fix worked. The final, unskippable rule of professional troubleshooting is to always verify the repair. We execute our original, previously failed ping out to the remote internet server. This time, we get a rapid sequence of successful replies. The internet is reachable. This checklist graphic consolidates the entire workflow into a repeatable blueprint. Verify, check local configuration, ping progression,
follow the packet and fix and verify. By strictly following a structured methodology, you establish the facts and isolate failures methodically. You stop acting as a reactive guesser and become a highly efficient problem solver.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm reaching out for the student body. Okay, students, I am about to do a lab that is about troubleshooting. So I want to start my troubleshooting series with this particular lab. Now, you previously watched the video that I created that demonstrated how easy it is to start troubleshooting. So let's walk through that. The first thing we want to do is throw a router up here. We're using Packet Tracer. Remember, Packet Tracer is the spot to be in when you're trying to learn this, people. So stop playing. This particular router is 1941. I'm gonna put it right there. The next thing I'm gonna throw up here is a PC. We're gonna grab us a PC and I'm gonna put that PC there. Do I need a switch? Yes, indeed. We wanna put a switch in there too, so we're gonna grab a switch. Okay, this particular switch we're gonna call 2960. Now, I know some of you gonna say, these are older routers and switches. We just doing troubleshooting, people, stay with me. I'm also gonna put a server up there. Why not? Let's throw a server. So as you can see right here, we have a PC, a switch, a router, and a server. Let's just hover over them and see what we got in there. So you can see that's the layout for the actual server. We got the layout for the router. Okay, you see the different ports on there. We got the layout for the actual switch, and we had a layout for the PC. Now, I am going to go to the connectors. I am not going to personally choose a connector. I'm going to choose automatic choice right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to connect the actual PC to the actual switch. Okay, I'm having a little fun, I know. I'm gonna come back and let it automatically go from the switch to the router. And then I'm gonna do the same thing from the router to the actual server. There we go. I'm gonna do my fast track just to make sure what I need to light up, lit up. So we have this simple little office right here, and we just want to troubleshoot things using one of the first commands. It's the ping command. Now, the first thing I want to do is start configuring these devices. I have my setup here, so I want to start configuring these devices. So I'm gonna start with the router because we know that that's the hardest thing to configure. So I'm gonna open up the router and I'm gonna go to the CLI and I'm gonna say no here because I am gonna do a manual configuration. That's right, manual, people. We're not here to play games. The first thing I'm gonna do is enable, and from enable I'm gonna go to config T, which is configuration terminal. I'm gonna config the first port, so I'm gonna go enter, which is interface G0/0. So that's my first one right there. I'm gonna hit enter, and we are in the configuration mode. I'm gonna go IP now, address, and I'm gonna put in 192.168.1.1. Of course, we need to put on 255.255.255, and then we're gonna say .0, and we must end with no shutdown, and we have the port demonstrating that it's up. So you see that right there. Now what we want to do is move to the next phase. we want to configure the next port. Remember, this is the LAN port that we configured right here. Now let's go configure the WAN port. So we're going to say enter, because we already, as you can see, we already still in the configuration mode right there. So we're going to say enter. We're going to go G0/1, and we're going to hit enter. And then let me see if I can bring it up automatically. Yes, we can, but we have to change these IP addresses. That's going to be 252. And then we're going to go down here. As you can see, I'm just doing a simple little shortcut to not have to type everything in. Make it quick and fast and to the point. But this is 209.165.200, and you know we move slow with this stuff because we want to get it in right. So we got here 209.165.200.225, and then we got 255.255.252, because that's the WAN connection. And we want to say no shed here and hit enter. Okay, so let's go check that right quick before we move on. Of course, we're going to go end to go all the way back to the start. And then we want to write this information. So we're going to use an advanced saving word. We're going to say write. Okay. And when we do that, we're going to say memory. That's going to save our configuration, as you can see right there. Now I'm going to close this here. And you see right here now, let's bring that up just a little. You see right here, this is configured. So if I take my mouse pointer and put it here, you can see G1 going to the actual server is configured, and you can see that G0, which is either that 0, is configured. Okay, so that was a quick configuration of the router. Now we want to go start setting up our other devices. So I'm gonna go up here to the actual server and give the server its IP address. I could also change the server name, but you know it's a server, so we're not gonna worry about that. So we're gonna go here and then we're gonna go to IP config. And we're gonna type in the server IP address, which is 209.165.200.226. And we're gonna hit tab. Now we have to change this back here because we know this is 252. Okay, we got that. And we want to give it a default gateway. The default gateway, matter of fact, I'm gonna just take this up here and copy it down. I'm gonna do a copy so we don't have to waste time typing that in. Paste. And we just gonna change that last number right there and make that a 5. That's the default gateway. So we have that in. So remember these numbers now, people. This is important. We want to get you skilled up. We're gonna go ahead and close that and also close that. So the server has an IP address. Now the next move we want to go do is set up the PC, which is down here. And I hope you're paying attention to these IP addresses, people. For the PC, I'm going to go ahead and type in 192.168.1.10 and hit enter. That's going to give me 255. But I got to put in the gateway. Remember, we got to put the gateway in. And the gateway, I'm going to go ahead and take a copy of this right here and copy that down there. See, this makes it quicker when you do this here, but you just don't have to type it in. And we're going to put here 254. Okay, so the PC has this information. We're going to do a double check. Okay, so now, what is the point of this particular lab? It's troubleshooting, right? So now that we have configured all of the devices, we want to go back to the router and just put a little command in here and see if we can show IP interface brief. We want to see if we can do that. I'm going to bring that up a little so you guys can see it. It may be, well, I thought I can bring it up a little, but anyway, we're going to say brief. Okay. Let's see what we got. So we see right here that our devices are up. We see 192. We see both of them up. Status is up. Protocol is up. So we doing right there. Now, if something was administratively down, like you see this VLAN here, if it would have said administrative down, we'd have had to go back and reconfigure this and make sure we get them right. Now let's start, since we see that's correct. Don't forget, show IP interface brief, show me the ports and show me the actual IP addresses are up. So now I want to go here and say, okay, let's start the troubleshooting here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on here on the PC, and I'm gonna go to the command prompt, and I'm gonna ping. Now I want to ping the IP address of the server. Okay, so I'm gonna go 209.165.200.226. Okay, I got 209, ping 209.165.200.226. I'm gonna hit enter, and what should happen here is I should be able to reach the server, correct? That's when you guys should be saying, no, Professor, you're not gonna reach the server, it's impossible. You got some mixed up IP addresses in there. And that's what it is. But the point of this lesson is to make sure you can figure out what's wrong. So imagine this, and an employee call you and say they cannot reach the server. They can't go out on the internet. So what is your first step then? Well, I'm gonna go unplug the computer and replug it back in. That wouldn't be a wise thing, seeing that you're a highly paid technician. You don't want to do that. The first thing you want to do is check your system. So I would ping my system just to see if I can reach my system. Now, this is an internal ping. This is when you checking your system out, and most of you know this particular ping, especially in the first week of the class. You should know this. This here is a loopback ping. So 127.0.0 is going to do a loopback to see if your system is okay. So I'm going to hit enter, and as you can see, my system is okay. So that means my internal system has no problem. So that means when you go to that person's computer and you do this ping 127.0.0.1, the internal system is okay. So let's ping now. The second thing, as a technician, I'm going to ping my IP address on the system. So this is the second phase of making sure that the system is in good health, because that's what you want to do. So when I hit this, it's saying right here, you can see it. My system is good health because the ping for my particular system can go out and come back, and it's saying it's okay. So what do I do now? So the next phase would be to ping the gateway. So the gateway is right here sitting on the router. I'm gonna close this right quick. Remember, this is the gateway. We got one going for WAN and one going for LAN, and you see those IP addresses. So let's see if we can ping the gateway. So the first thing I'm gonna do is bring back up my PC and go back here and ping the gateway. Now, the first ping on the gateway I'm gonna test will be the one that says ping 192.168.1.254. Okay, so I'm reaching out to test my gateway. Let's see what happens. Okay, so far we waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. So I got a timeout on the first one. Now, this is what you just noticed. I can ping, do a loopback on the PC. I can ping my own PC, but I can't reach the gateway. So that lets me know there's a problem. And not only is there a problem, that let me know that some IP address is wrong. So we proceed to investigate even more because we want to find out what's going on. So we're back here and we just sent out and we noticed that this is the error. So we now know the error is between here and the gateway. So we want to check to see what is the gateway. And we know that somewhere we mistyped an IP address. So what do we do now? Well, we proceed to see that we have an error here. So we have to go back and fix the IP address. So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna close this here right quick. And I'm gonna look here and see what the IP address is here. So the IP address for this particular router is 192.168.1. And for the other IP address is 209.165.200.225. So if I come here and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go back in here and I'm just gonna type in another command and say, so as you can see, when we type in IP config, it gives us the particular IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway. So that default gateway we can see is wrong. That's not the default gateway we should be using. So we got to go change that default gateway. So I'm going to go over here. Before I do that, I want to show you why this is so important. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and open up simulation mode because that's important to this demonstration. And in simulation mode, I'm gonna go ahead and put the computer's IP address in there real quick. Let's put this IP address in there, 192.168.1.10, and I'm gonna click simulation mode so you can actually see what happens when I hit enter. Now, I'm gonna shrink this screen down. As you can see, we got a little envelope there. This whole thing is showing you how to trace the packet, where the packet will flow and where the packet will go. So I'm gonna advance the packet and it's letting me know that everything is good. I'm gonna click advance again. Now the packet went here to the switch. I'm gonna click advance again and it went to the router. I'm gonna click advance again and now we're gonna click it one more time and just see how it goes. Now I'm gonna let it flow, but while it's flowing, I'm gonna read this off. So I'm gonna go ahead and click that so it can just flow on its own. But you can see that it's not reaching the destination that it should be reaching, because there's a problem with the IP address. And you probably can't see it, but it's a little red X in here showing that there is a problem. And it'll be up in a minute because I'm letting it run. But we have to fix that problem, and that's how you troubleshoot and find out what is actually happening here. Why is it that it's stopping? See, you see this here? Now look at that X. That X tells you something is wrong. So we're going to make the correction now. We're going to go change that IP address because we were able to see that it was an IP address that was wrong, and it's the IP address that's on here. So we're going to go back to the actual desktop, go to config, and we're going to make this IP address 1. So we're going to have 192.168.1. Now let's see if that corrects the particular issue. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to show you that I can ping that IP address. I'm going to go ping 192.168.1.1. Let's see what happened. And it went through. So now we should be able to reach the actual server now. So I want to see if we can reach the actual server and see if it goes. So I'm gonna come back over here and come back to simulation mode. I'm gonna click here again, and we're gonna put in the IP address ping 209.165.200.226, and we're gonna go ahead and hit enter. And we just gonna let it flow this time. So as you can see, it took off. It should go to here now. Let's see if it goes. It went there, no X's, and we should shoot up all the way there. And we hit the mark, people. So this is how we basically troubleshoot. Now let's go back over what we needed to do. When we were able to see that we couldn't reach this router, we proceeded to first check our system. Remember, we used it 127.0.0.1 to check our system. That was okay. Then we checked our system by pinging our own IP address, which is 10, as you can see right there. Then we pinged the actual router, and the router told us that's what the problem is. So it's a systematic approach. You start with the PC. If you got the switch configured, you go to the switch. If you got the router configured, you go to the router. You find out what a ping is having problems.